Good morning and welcome to our daily devotional from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn. Very glad to have you with us on this Tuesday morning, January the 30th, 2024. And this week we've started studying Isaiah chapter 40, verses 21 through 31. You may remember that we read, as we often do during Advent season, we read the first 10 or 11 verses of Isaiah 40. It corresponds to the famous passage from Handel's Messiah, "Comfort, O comfort my people, says your God." And the passage that we're studying this week comes later in this chapter. And this chapter is said to be a kind of transition. Something new is clearly taking place here as compared to the first 39 chapters of Isaiah. There is reference to the fall of Jerusalem, and there's reference to the defeat of the nation and the captivity that led them to Babylon. And so this chapter is a response to that situation and those conditions, and it is one that is primarily a call to the people to remember who their God is, to remember that their God is the creator of the universe, and that there is it's a call to faith and of encouragement, that strength comes to those who wait upon the Lord. So I'm going to read the first three verses of our passage, 21, 22, and 23, and offer a few reflections and then close us with prayer. Have you not known? Have you not heard? Has it not been told you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them like a tent to live in, who brings princes to naught and makes the rulers of the earth as nothing. So in response to this the horrible downfall of the Jerusalem and the kingdom, there is this reminder to the people, a reminder of the lessons that they have learned before. Remember that this is a time period that is nearly 1,500 years after the time of Abraham. And so the people are a part of a long tradition now of stories, and now even text that record not just the law, but the stories of the people and the stories of God's interaction with the people. And it's a reminder here that in verse 21, not only have you not, don't you remember all of these things that you've learned, that you've been taught, but don't you remember that what you've been taught has to do with the very foundations of the earth, the foundations of life itself, and it is their God who analogously sits above the circle of the earth. Interesting that the earth is a circle here, right, instead of a flat plane. Who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretch out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them like a tent to live in. So human beings are analogously compared to grasshoppers who live under a tent, the tent of the heavens. And you might recall that in the understanding of the world at the time, the heavens were considered a canopy, and that above the canopy was water, and from time to time the water above would fall down as rain through openings in this canopy above, but God is over all of this. And then, of course, the final reminder that the princes and kings and rulers and leaders, that these come to nothing in comparison to God. The highest imaginable authority is of no comparison to God's power and might. A power that we ought to remember is rooted and mostly characterized by love and compassion. Let us close with this word of prayer from W.E. Orchard. Most holy God, may the hush of thy presence move us now to adoration, and may all voices be stilled, that thine may be heard. Quiet our minds of their fretting, hide from us the false glamour of things, and may the truth dawn upon all our souls. We bring to thee the unsatisfied desire of our seeking hearts, for nothing can save us except thyself. Show to us the great secret of thyself. Give us some image of thee in our thought, that we may know who and what thou art. We want to stand before thy throne, even though we may be afraid of what would happen to us. We want to see thy face, though we may never see anything else after. We want to know the measure of thy love, even though it may break our hearts. We want to see the hidden purposes of thy will, even though the vision would change our little plans and flood our lives beyond our power to hold and contain. We want not only to see thee in the mystic hour of revelation, but in broadening purposes in the history of our time, not only in the Shekinah of the holy place, but at work in our common days, inhabiting our narrow hearts. Incarnate thyself, O invisible God, that these eyes may be forever satisfied. May thy word become flesh, and the unutterable take voice. O come, Emmanuel. Amen. Thank you for joining me this morning from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn, and I hope that you have a very good day. Goodbye.